right, welcome back to another edition of Knicks Morning Koffee. See how to rock my Jet shirt. First game this weekend. So, we play Sam Darnold team. So, our former quarterback. All right, everybody. I think this is episode 64. Welcome back. All right, you know what, too? Before we start, I want to talk about with Dame Lillard. Again, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Dame Lillard, yesterday, there was a notice put out that he said he's going to stay in Portland for right now. Mm-hmm. And every time I opened up my phone this week, I saw something pop up with Dame with a Knicks jersey on, and the caption would read, Dame prefers New York Knicks over Philly. Mm-hmm. There's the whole thing with him and Ben Simmons. But I'm just like, whoever the writer was, let it go, right? Like at this point, let it go. Let's rock with the team we got, and let's just see where our chips fall. But so it must be somebody in Dame's camp or affiliate, somebody planting that story, trying to give it legs, because you try to figure out what's the upside to Dame. Dame says he wants to win a championship, so okay, he's not going to win one with Portland, basically, in that sense. You can never say never, but he can't be, normally that's done to run up the salary. Can't be that, because he already got the highest salary right now he could get. So the only other thing I would say that somebody, if it was a narrative that Dame might have been behind, would be something for his music career. At this point, why would you come to New York at this point? If you wanted a chip, you would go, to force your way to the Lakers, even the Clippers, somewhere like that. So it had to be maybe if Dame's, maybe his rap career, he want to get off the ground. And this would be, of course, it would be a primary spot for that. But this writer, he was just like, every time I opened up my phone, I would see it this whole week. So that, but I said, let me just throw that out there, because that's just not something that we really need to be entertaining, so close to the season. All right, but my topic today, one of them was R.J. Barrett. Because there's been a lot of positive reviews out about his workouts this summer and how good he's getting. And even though you can't really get overexcited about pickup play. Yeah. Like it's nice to see that he's working on his pull-up, right? And even though it shows he was hitting it, they never show when they're missing it. But they show him hitting it. They show him jumping out the gym, but the intensity on all of that wasn't there because of the kind of pickup games he was playing in. Now, mind you had Bradley Beal and Melo, and I think I saw Steph Curry in one. So you had primetime players playing, but it ain't the same. It ain't even the same as a scrimmage, because a scrimmage can be detailed. And that was just showing RJ, just out there running and shooting. But then I started thinking about, like, the hype that I was seeing about RJ and how he's progressing, things he worked on this summer. What's the upside to that is that, okay, he get better. Well, we know we need RJ to be able to shoot better. And in some cases, too, even make better decisions. But as a two guard, at least be able to shoot better, because we know you could get to the hole. And then I saw another article or video showing how RJ, of course we know he's left-handed. So when he's driving left, he's unstoppable. And then when he's driving right, his percentage is lower, but he's still a force. So those are the things that we have to try to emphasize. But then the other part is that it's not like RJ, regardless of what happened this summer, it's not like he was going to lose his starting job. He wasn't in doubt. Tibbs going to go with him to start the season. So that's the part I was like, when I kept seeing the videos and the articles about RJ and how much he's improving, I said it must be somebody that's truly, truly an RJ fan, because he's not in jeopardy, let's face it, of losing his job, even though he has competition at the position, because we got a lot of guys at that position who are going to be able to hold their own. But RJ just come back with a jump shot that we know that the organization needs out of you, because obviously the organization, they're vested in RJ. So they want RJ to succeed, but at what cost, But for right now, that's not a bad look. But again, all those workout videos, they're nice, but that's not going to help us when the pressure is put on you, especially in the Garden. Okay, the other thing is, even the Knicks themselves have been getting positive reviews from people just in terms of the way they've been playing. The people that we added, like we stayed pat last year. We didn't panic, so we kind of like running it back. And when was the last time the Knicks had a good team and ran it back? And then not only running it back, you add 2 key pieces at 2 key positions. So
never.
He said, no, I don't think we ever did we
I mean, y'all had Patrick Ewing, then y'all get what's the name? Bernard King, but then he was just hurt.
Well, we had Bernard when we got Patrick, but they just never got to play together because of injury for that 1 year, which that's one of my biggest. That's my biggest fear. Not biggest fear, but that's one of my Knick moments where I go, I wish we could have back. Between that and then the Starks 2 for 18 shooting in game 7 of the finals. Those are 2 things I always wish we could have back as a Knicks fan. But the Knicks, when I look at the video of what we added, and I can see why sometimes people feel like, what we did is good. Because we did run it back the time with Melo, Amari, and Tyson Chandler. But that just didn't pan out. But that was the time I wanted them to run it back. They ran it back, but it didn't materialize.
I think Jason Kidd had left, right?
No, he came. He came the year after that. I think we had Tyson for a couple of years. Then Jason came. But as far as the excitement with the Knicks, I saw a video breaking down the pick and roll with Elfrid Payton and with RJ, and it just broke down a percentage of their clips and how inefficient or inefficient we was in the pick and roll. Like, I didn't realize that it was that bad in the pick and roll, and then it broke down Walker and Fournier in the pick and roll, and how much smoother. Well, we know that they're pick and roll players, especially Walker. I didn't know Fournier was that much of a pick and roll player. And I'm not just talking about the decision making and knocking down the shot, the way that he can actually get to the hole, as far as reading the defense on the pick and roll. So that I started looking at that and I started saying, this ain't bad. I mean, let's face it, all the talk is about the Nets and the Lakers. And they're plugged in to be in the finals. Now, you don't never know what's going to happen. But healthiness aside, okay, they have the best upside to get there. But poor Milwaukee, nobody's not even talking about Milwaukee and what they're going to be able to do.
Nah, at this point, I'm like, nobody really know nothing. At this point. Like, we not going to lie. Like, if Melo get a ring, we going to be happy. Brooklyn had all these same players last year. Like, they're not going to be healthy. I don't even got no faith in them.
No, I don't got no faith in them staying healthy neither. But, I guess for the sake of argument with the writers and with Vegas.
Desperate. Remember when DeAndre Jordan, like, I'm going to go over here? They done shipped him off.
But didn't we not call that when he first left?
Yeah.
They did the same thing to you that we did to you. You wasn't better than our young center. And the same thing happened to him. And then, in fact, they even broke down a clip of him last year with the Nets, with Kyrie and James Harden constantly throwing him alley-oops that he's missing. So now you go into the Lakers, you might fare better with the Lakers because they'll be looking for them. They'll be looking. I think it's going to be a done deal. If it's not a done deal yet, because was it Memphis or somewhere, wherever he went, they buying him out. So the Lakers will pick him up on the cheap. But you're not that player anymore. Again, anybody can help the Lakers when you got all that talent. All you got to do is rebound and play a little bit of defense. But DeAndre Jordan, you're not what you once was. And this is why in the article said Kyrie and Durant are your best friends. If you was a shell of what you was, they'd have been fighting for you to stay. But they didn't even fight for you to get in the games because you couldn't even make them look good, missing the easy alley-oop, or easy to him, missing the easy alley-oop. But the Knicks, we all the way around, and then the kid Bacon that we got from Orlando, like we all the way around got competition. Competition that's going to push us to the next level. Because a lot of stuff you do hear, though, is that we're not getting back to 4. Well, how people know we're not getting back to 4? But again, I'm going to stay with the thing of, like last year, of getting to 6. I wanted 6, and 4 happened to just be attainable. Because you want to avoid the play-in game. So I don't care who picking us to be, well, we were tied for the Bulls for 8th. No, I don't believe that not one bit. I don't know what the Bulls are going to be, but I know what we improved as a team. And improving as a team under Tibbs' defensive system, that got to count for something. That got to count for something, and the way we shoot the ball got to count for something. We put shooters all the way around now. We got real shooters, we got street shooters, and then we got the improved play of our guys from last year. So what part about that with the negative people who say we can't get back? I think we can get back, but I'll settle for 6.
Yeah, we not like announcers on ESPN or whatever, but they don't be anticipating Antetokounmpo coming back stronger, or Middleton coming back stronger. They don't anticipate somebody on that bench coming back better. They don't anticipate John Morant maybe coming back better. Like, they don't really know. You know what I mean? Like, even though Lakers look strong, but can they actually play together? I feel like they can, but Brooklyn clearly can't play together. Maybe Kyrie would have to go, and they would have to get somebody regular on that team.
Somebody mentioned that, too. Somebody mentioned...
Because they both need the ball. So they can't be Kyrie and Durant. Somebody got to be just Kyrie or just Durant. Y'all both can't be the stars. We seen that in Miami.
Yeah, but it's their injuries, too. If you get rid of one, but they get injured anyway. So you get rid of one, then the other one get injured.
The other one we just saw that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if Durant don't get hurt, if he just got... I feel like if Durant had... what's the dude that went to Miami?
Butler?
No.
Who went to Miami?
From Toronto.
Oh, DeRozan?
No, the other dude. Didn't he go to Miami?
No, DeRozan went to Chicago. Lowry, yeah.
I feel like Durant needs somebody like him. He's great. He's good. He ain't going to hurt you. And he can hold his own. But not like Kyrie, because Kyrie need the ball when they're all on the court.
Yeah, but I know, but James Harden now is the one with the ball. So I don't know. Now, if they could have convinced one of them two to come off the bench, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I love Kyrie, but I don't know what it is about his leadership. I don't know what it is about him. Seems like ever since he left LeBron, that was it. Because I remember when he went to Boston, he had to apologize to LeBron. Like, what I thought I can do, I can't do.
Yeah, but he's just not the player. He's not as great as a talent as he is. He's not the player he think he is. You know, he's a great talent, but you're not that guy. And as a point guard, and as a scoring point guard, you don't got that head as a point guard.
Yeah, but then it's hard to justify what's not that guy when you win a ring with Cleveland and you do everything LeBron do. LeBron,
but right,
you drop.
But because LeBron,
you get 10 assists, you got 10 assists.
But because LeBron is that guy, that's why. That's what I mean. Like Kyrie, you got to think the game. We know you know how to play the game. You got probably the best handles in the league, but that's not enough. That's why somebody's limited as Jason Kidd was. Look how great he was, as limited as he was, because he thinks the game. If Kyrie was to really think the game all the way through, yeah, he know what he want to do, but you got to see what the other guys can do before the play happens. But Kyrie's looking for self, you know. But that's today's NBA too, though. So I can't even really say nothing about that. But what I did like hearing this week, watching some different shows where other players go on and they ask them about the Knicks, and I loved hearing that a lot of players around the league think highly now of Julius Randle, because that's what I always felt was key for us, that Julius Randle, not only do we need you to be an all-star, and you don't necessarily have to make the all-star teams, everybody can't make it, but they got to think of you as an all-star. And this is how double teams come. When other teams got a plan for you, and then that's when the unsung guys on your team get to go off. You know, this is why guys like Burt get to go off the way they do, because nobody scouts Burt when they're going to play the Knicks. So you get to get your shots where you want it, because there's always two people on Randall with another eye watching. So that's all. So I just loved hearing the kind of respect factor that they feel that Julius is an all-star. Now, again, you don't have to. How many times Bradley Beal didn't make the all-star team? Like, you don't have to make the all-star team to be thought of in that light. So, the Knicks, to me, we on the upside.
Yeah, it seemed like last year that Julius Randle got a lot of respect from everybody, and they showed the work. You know what I mean? Like, basketball at that level definitely is complicated, especially when you're the one being scouted every night.
Yeah.
Like, he rose. At the end of the day, probably got lucky. They probably didn't think he was going to just turn on old roles like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was easy when you got Randall. So for granted, yeah, that was good. But this year he got to seize the moment.
Yeah.
Like, All-Star is fine, but Knicks need superstar at this point. So either Kemba's gonna come in and do it if you don't do it, or somebody else is gonna step up and do it.
Well, that's the part that's key, and this is gonna lead into our next segment of, with all the talk being on the Nets and the Lakers, how do the Knicks stay focused to try to get to where they want to go? Because the media, nobody's gonna be talking about you. Everybody's gonna be talking about looking forward to the Christmas game against the Nets and the Lakers. Everybody's gonna be looking forward to the end of the season for them to collide in the playoffs, which may not even really happen. But how do we stay focused? And that's how we stay. First of all, under Tibbs. Tibbs is going to keep them focused. But part of that with Randall is making sure that he understands, okay, this is my team, but look at all the pieces I got around me. So even though I'm an all-star and you say be a superstar, yeah, that would be nice. But even being a superstar, that extra shot you may not have to force because there's a shooter there. You know, that extra dribbling, you may not have to do it because there's a ball handler there. And that's the way that Tibbs can keep Randall, keeping him engaged, you know, in this season, because nobody's really going to be talking about us once the season really starts. It's only going to be us.
I mean, they're going to be talking about us if he hits that shot. That is like, even though he got a hand in his face, he's going to hit that shot. Melo did it, and even Porzingis did it. You know what I mean? As bad as he has some games, they kick it out to him in the three, and he's hitting it, and we jumping up like, oh, he hit it. You know what I mean? He got to seize that moment. That's all we get.
Yeah, but how do we fare not being the headlines? Now, of course, the New York writer is going to have to talk about you. The New York fans are going to talk about you, but the outside world, everybody else is going to be an afterthought. Maybe a little bit in Milwaukee, and then maybe a little bit of Philly, because they're always going to have that drama now.
As soon as Kemba Walker drops somebody or hit his first three-pointer, then Knicks is going to be on.
Well, you know he's going to drop somebody.
But now, if he don't, we in trouble.
Nah, his game.
If he don't put on the show, we in trouble.
Kemba's game is what it is.
Show, we are something to watch.
Nah, Kemba's game is what it is, because a lot of the stuff that he even did while he was in Boston, and even in Charlotte, New Yorkers will appreciate how he set himself up for a bucket. Like we'll appreciate seeing that, and he'll hit it after the move. You know. Now he's not Kyrie, but it'll because he won't hold the ball as long as Kyrie. But it'll be Kyrie, like, you know, when he razzles down to the guy in front of him and step back and hit the jumper, regular routine jumper. See, to other people it wasn't nothing, but to New Yorkers or New York Knicks fans, that's gonna seem like a whole lot. And then the same thing with Fournier. You know, when he gets the ball thrown to him on the wing, he can shoot it, or being in the triple threat, you know, drive it, pull up, whatever it is. We'll appreciate that more.
And there's going to be a lot of verbal confrontation. So I know they say Atlanta not a real rivalry, but it might turn out to be. Atlanta, New York, Kemba Walker looking at Trae Young like this ain't last year. You know what I mean? Fournier, he looked like he got a mouth on him. And then Mitchell, Mitchell not having none of that push me on the floor like how they was doing Noel and all that. Taj being humble.
Yeah.
Mitch ain't humble. He gonna be like, he gonna take that mouthpiece out and say, "Will, what you doing?"
And but I don't mind. I don't mind Atlanta as a rivalry. You know, the little rivalries, because my mind is just think bigger. Because Atlanta, they in the same boat that we're in. They just probably don't get the same respect, you know, because of the individual players that they got. But I want to think bigger as a rivalry. It'll be a good matchup.
I like the tension. It's like when we played Brooklyn, there was really only tension between Knicks fans and Brooklyn fans. It looked like the players didn't even care. They were dapping it up after that.
Yeah, because they hang out at the same
had
club.
Some words for somebody, but I think it was all love after that. Now I don't want to see love. The Atlanta game almost looked like there was no love. It was like almost.
Well, yeah, because Atlanta, you beat them 3 times in regular season, and now they still in your thunder. And some of that animosity though could have been that was directed towards Atlanta. Maybe some of the players wanted directed towards Randall for not showing up. And we know that it was the nerves You know, it was the spotlight. It just became too much for him at that time. And so where do the guys direct their anger? They probably was directing it at Atlanta. No, all the games with Atlanta are going to be good because now that just goes to show you can sweep somebody in the regular season. In the playoffs, it don't mean nothing. It's a new season, and that's what Atlanta did to us. Regardless of what Randall done, Atlanta was one that come out on top. So yeah, the games are going to be entertaining.
LA's never a good rivalry. There's too many LA fans in New York. And too many LeBron fans in New York. It's never a good rivalry. It never works unless we just killing them. Unless there's somebody on the Knicks team that LeBron just don't like. Rivalry ain't there. Brooklyn is over. Boston washed up.
Yeah, when you
the Bulls, come on. So who we rivalry like? We got to pick somebody that Trae Young shishing us. I kind of felt some kind of way.
I didn't though.
Only because now that I think about it.
Only because Trae was like he was trying to manifest it, like you know, and of course they're gonna try to get him back.
Nah, I think that was all natural. You know, I think that because you got.
You think it was natural?
Because you got what's the name of all them screaming at him. He did that to the celebrities. So not only you did that, you did that to Tracy Morgan. Come on, now you can't do that to him.
All right, so this is gonna be a short show today, but my last thing I want to talk about was, I was seeing an article or articles on. I didn't quite get it. Who on the Knicks now is gonna be the successor to Randall? Now, successor usually means when person leaves. When Randall leaves, if Randall leaves, our successor might not be on our team already, because the reason why they're paying Randall is that you can swap a star for a star if when it comes to that, you know. So I didn't quite get who on our team right now. I mean, we know that Kemba used to be an all-star, right? Will he ever get back to that all-star form to be considered an all-star?
We have to start writing their names. Like, we don't got no successor because we don't really.
That's what I'm trying to say.
To be honest, we don't really.
Oh, well, maybe they mean RJ. I don't know.
We don't really got the guy. And it's not RJ because, like I said, I just mentioned John Morant. Like, he is. Everybody looks at it as like, all right, he might be the next up and coming. We don't got nobody on our teams like, oh, this is the future. When LeBron and all them is out, we don't got none of them plays that everybody talk about.
Yeah, I didn't quite get it.
It's like, what? Who?
Yeah.
We don't got nobody that was making us excited. We more excited for Kemba than we are for anybody else. So be honest, like we excited for our rookies, but it's Kemba.
Yeah, Grimes is gonna be something special.
What Jericho Simmons gonna be the successor?
Nah, I mean Grimes will be the closest, but even that, it would have to be somebody right now that. It had to be somebody right now that could be, because man, I don't know, maybe they feel RJ.
It's not Grimes because everybody's saying Allen Houston, 3-and-D. They not saying Klay Thompson. They not saying the next Steph Curry. They not saying, you know what I mean? So we got to put those pieces together. Right now, it's not a successor. We stick to the plan like Philly said. Trust the process.
No, we passed that.
No, trust.
Oh yeah, we'll trust the process.
Yeah,
but we
trust
ain't,
the process. We don't
John B said
got
that.
the guy yet. That's
yeah,
it.
I didn't. I just didn't quite get it unless they feel. Cause remember, it always to me it just goes back to where everybody felt RJ was like #1 player in the country, you know, and it just didn't work out for him.
Like it's not like we got Dirk and then years later Luka come. No, we don't have nobody.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's weird though. So
I mean, listen, my Knicks fans like that was hard to say, but at the end of the day, we got a solid team.
Yeah,
we don't got glass night in the pitch. Yeah?
But if somebody sees something in our players, and I think we got good players, but when I think of successor, I think of somebody carrying the torch as the face of the team. So if y'all think of somebody I'm not thinking about on our team, or somebody got an upside that I don't see, you know, let us know. But
we're not talking about
that's
potential.
just crazy. Who?
All right, let's say this now. We're not talking about potential. Who has the potential to be this? We talking about the successor. Like when they come on the court, we know what time it is. We don't got that right now.
So let's just say this though. If we let's just say we traded Randall for draft picks, for first round draft picks. So who on our team now would you say? Because somebody still has to be the face on every team.
The person we drafted.
Who's that?
You said
No, I'm talking about right now. I'm talking
about right now. We're trading for first round draft picks.
Okay, the first round draft pick ain't gonna play right now.
He might.
He ain't here. So I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about say you trade him right now. Kemba. Okay, that's okay.
What I'm saying. Like, that's not a successor. That's just
somebody got to be the face of the franchise. So you're saying if we got rid of Randall right now before the season, with nobody back in return, just say future first round draft picks, then Kemba is the face of the franchise.
Kemba's the face. He probably gonna be the face this year. To be honest with y'all, y'all can say Randall all y'all want. We love Randall.
Nah, Randall's the face of the franchise.
No, it's gonna.
You just need, but everybody needs.
It's Randall until you see that first picture with Kemba.
Regardless of what they do, yeah, but regardless of what they do
this every year.
You gotta have look at what LeBron got, and he still try to get. You still try to add on. You have AD. You want more.
I'm talking about.
Then you go get Russ. You want more.
We talking about the face. You see, LeBron ain't moved from the face of that franchise, right? Westbrook there, they ain't put Westbrook.
But other people could play good.
The AD there, they ain't put AD in the front.
Yeah, but AD still played good. But LeBron is still the face. That's what I'm saying. Kemba could play good, but Randall's still going to be the face.
They was putting R.J. Barrett there until Randall got there, and then you see Randall. R.J. Barrett looked like he was about to be the face.
But they promoted Randall as that.
And then Randall. So now you mean to tell me if Kemba don't start going over there, playing good, dropping 30. Doing everything that we was missing from Randall, doing with Derrick Rose and more. You think they're not gonna start putting his face in the front of the Christmas?
Yeah, but they're not gonna make him the face of the franchise because they want to promote Randall.
As soon as you listen, I'm telling you now, you're gonna hear. As soon as Kemba, you're gonna hear Kemba Walker and the Knicks. You're not gonna hear Randall in the Knicks.
Nah, I doubt they do both. I mean, I don't disagree with him and Kemba.
You're gonna see Kemba in the middle, Randall there, and then RJ or whoever plays better. Right next to them. It's going to be that three.
Well, Kemba going to be there. We know that anyway.
It's going to be Kemba in the middle.
Because he got too many skills.
It's going to be Kemba going to turn into Batman, Randall going to turn into Robin, and it's going to be that third person.
No, I don't know about that. I mean, they'll both be there. I don't know about that.
So, I mean, that would make the show longer, but then it's going to be a question of, all right, so was Randall better than Jason Tatum? Because that's the only time I can see where Kemba wasn't the face of Boston. It was Jason Tatum, right?
To me, he was. I think when they got Randall, remember Randall was our so-called big acquisition 2 years ago. So when we get Randall, it's just that he was supposed to be the face then, but it was just something about Mook just took it over because people got tired of Randall throwing the ball away. And Mook just took it over with his shooting.
And yet he wasn't the face though. I think it was still RJ because we were just so excited. We got a young boy that's like bowling ball.
But they promote more than one. But I don't know if RJ was the face. I think Randall was still when they got. I think Randall was still the guy. And if you remember our show we did that year that we got him, when I was comparing Randall to like Tatum for Boston. What was the one that was in Toronto? The one that was into like everybody else's star, the teams that wasn't high-powered teams, that Randall was actually better than them. Now the only problem was that they tried to focus on Randall, but he kept throwing the ball, he kept dribbling the ball off his foot with the spin move, and then Mook just started clicking, hitting his shots, and it wasn't until he left that Randall kind of regained his touch a little bit. But Randall is better than a lot of them guys. A lot of them guys just at the young age on their team, they were forced to be. Like say John Morant, if they already had quality players, we might not see how good John Morant is right away because he won't have the ball, the green light. When you go to totally bad teams like that with no veteran leadership, you get to do what you want out there. So now you progress better, and as good as Tatum is, don't get me wrong, but Tatum and all them guys, they was given the keys to their teams right away.
All I'm saying is it's up for grabs for the Knicks because even last year, as good as Randall played, we was all rooting for quickly. As good as RJ played, we was all rooting for quickly. So it's up in the air for the Knicks. And then towards the end of the year, what we all said, D Rose, save us, right? Even in the comments, remember the guy said, "Well, D Rose has helped me."
Yeah.
So D Rose was looking like he was about to be the face of the Knicks if he would have came back and we had no Kemba, right? He was like, D Rose is the guy. Now Kemba's there. Kemba's ready. He got to reclaim his stardom. He's in New York, back home.
Coming home, bringing the highlights.
He had the Mellow commercial. Everybody don't get that commercial. Randall didn't even get that.
Nah.
All right, so this is what I'm trying to tell you.
See, Randall, I'm trying. I love Kimber too now, but Randall, I'm trying. See? Gotta make him eat his words, Randall.
You gotta keep it real on the show. You gotta keep it real on the show.
All right, folks. Well, this is gonna be a short one today because we know we're getting closer and closer. I'm ready for the season. I got my Mets. They struggling down the stretch, but at least they in the fight. And then, of course, Jets start this weekend. So, peace. Remember to like, comment, subscribe.
And subscribe, too.